All right, you guys, welcome back. So I have another strategy that was sent in by a subscriber, Chip Tracy. I saw him on another channel, okay, the Roulette Master, so I want to give him a shout out. I'm going to play his strategy on the American wheel, all right, the 2 zeros. Then after I do, I'm going to play it on a single zero and show you the difference and how I would tweak it. So let's get into it, all right? He starts with $1,000 bankroll, and it comes out like this: $25 on black, 25 on even. Then he puts $5 split between the 0 and the double zero. And then he covers the even red numbers 12, 14, 16, and 18. Then he also covers 30, 32, 34, and 36. Now, if you notice, he has a $63 bet. I'm going to show you the progressions, and I'm going to put it up later on, okay, how they go. But my system is going to be a little different because remember, we're using a single zero. When Sandy and I go to Vegas, we're going to play this chip, all right? So here we go. Let's start it off. And we're shooting for $100 or about 8 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to transfer over to the other one and see how it does. Of course, right out the gate, we lose the first one, all right? So here we go. We're down 63. So right now, he's at level 1, $63. What he does is he does another base bet of 63. Okay, so we're going to double it this time, right? Instead of just putting the 63 on, which is another 25, another 25, another nickel, and then $1 chips on all those. That went from 63 to another 63. That's why it's at 126. You don't necessarily double this. You just keep going up one base level. All right? Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. And then hopefully we can play some other systems while we're there too. We've got a lot to play while we're in Vegas, so we should have some fun. Oh, 2 times in a row. Now let me show you the weaknesses of this, right? As we're getting them pointed out right away. So when we rebet, obviously, the numbers that are bad, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, all the red odds. And then same right here, 21, 23, 25, and 27, you get scooped. Now, last time, whoops. Let me clear that one. Sorry about that. I got to put a $25 chip back on there. Okay, so that's where we started at. Now I have to add another one. Because remember, we're going up one base level, okay? And then I have to add dollar chips to all the other ones. And you'll see how this recovers, and then you'll see how I'm going to do it in Vegas, all right? Tweaked it just a little bit, especially because we like to find the single zero roulette tables, and we found plenty of them. So 63, 63, and 63 is 189. That's why you have it down there, okay? 189. So 26, that's a good hit for us, right? We won 111, so let's see where we are. Still down, right? So we have to go again. So we rebet, and we're going to spin. Let's see how this recovers. See how many hits. Oh, you don't want the 135, right? So it got us again. So definitely showing the weakness, right? Down 267. Now we're going to rebet. The one thing I do like is if we would have doubled and doubled and doubled, we'd be invested big time by now with the progressions, okay? So by just going up a base level every time, it's keeping our bankroll manageable, okay? Whoops, let me clear that one. Add $5 chip there. Ah, come on, baby. So it's still manageable. It's not out of control, right? But if you notice, the bets are still getting up there. Look, we went from 63 all the way to $252 bet. All right, here we go. And maybe if it turns around, remember, we're having a bad streak of the red numbers, just like right now. It's a bad streak of red, right? Worst case scenario, look at that. Now we're down 519. Let's see if this thing can bounce back. Remember, we just go up a quarter and a quarter, still just a base level. So I like that. All right, this one's definitely starting off rough, but it can happen. Let's see if it recovers, because I'm going to play it in Vegas too, and we haven't even hit a zero. So that hasn't affected anything, right? Let's see here. See if this thing can bounce back. Boom, there's 8. That's huge. So we won 185. So we got to rebet, spin away again. We have to hit that a couple times, right? Because we're down. Boom, 24, hit another even. Even in black, another 185. And we're down 149. We got to go again. So as you get up there, you got to go for a couple W's, right? In the early stages, you only have to go for about 2 hits. Okay, so at least it recovered. So let's see. Yeah, we're up $36 now. So that's a good recovery. So now we're going to start back over at base level 1. Okay, base level 1. At least it recovered. This goes to show you that any system can get wiped out, right? If your numbers are running bad. This one definitely started off rough, but it did recover, okay? And there's our $63 base bet. And here we go. Yeah, wait till you see the tweak that I did to it so that when we go to Vegas, that's a winner because it's red. Let's see if we're getting back to $100. Close, 59. Same level, base level 1, $63. Starting to get up there. 12. It's another $23 winner. Let's see. See, our stats 82. We need one more of those. If we got $23, we'd be over $100. And I think that'd be a good session right there, right? Especially because it got behind early, but it's recovering. Let's see, 27. Nope, that's a complete loss, okay? So let's see. We're still up after this crazy session. We're going to rebet. And then remember, I'm going to show you, like if we doubled, we'd be at 126, right? But I'm just going to do it this way. Because technically, you're just going up one base level, okay? So the first time you lose, you actually like would double your bet again, but that's not the way to look at it. You want to look at it, you're going up one base level. So another 63. So if you look at the bet, it's 126, okay? When I go up another 63, it's going to be 189 if we lose again. But we're not, because we're going to win, people, right here. And then I'll show you how much we go up. Come on, we need an even number. And black. Nope. We got even, but it was red. So we still went up here. Look, that was still solid. Now remember, last time we lost 63, but we won 46 this time. If we win 46 again, you can reset because you're back into a new profit, all right? So let's look where we're at again. We're at 65. Actually, if we win 46, we'll be above our $100 goal. So rebet. We won another hit. Any one of those hit, and we're in our $100 profit. Come on. 17 black. It's a partial loss. So set us back a little bit, back down to 39. We're going to rebet. Come on. We need a black and even number. And then I'll show you the new system. Come on. Ah, still a win though. 46. We're $85. We need 15 more. We're super close. So right here, actually, since we only need 15, I would reset. Okay? Especially if you look at this right here. Look, like we won 46, we don't need to win that much anymore, right? So stay close to base as possible to reach your goal. So I'm going to reset this back to 63, okay? That's our original bet right there. Let's see. I took the 25 off of this. There's our $63 bet. Here we go. Base level 1. You want to try and stay down there. Get back to progression. And we hit it, so we won. All right, that was a big one right there. So let's check this out. We're at $122. We made our goal, people. That was awesome. And you saw it struggled at the beginning, but it came back. And you're going to have, that's going to happen, right? Like you can hit several reds in a row, several odds. But I wanted to show you how this recovered, and it did. So there's our $122. Stick around because I'm going to show you what we're going to do when we go to Vegas and we play on single zero. So let's restart this, all right? So we're going to clear this one off. I got to change it back to European wheel. All right. Now we're still starting with the $1,000 bankroll. All right. There's a 0. So we wiped out new slate. Here we go. So he puts $25 on even, right? On black, sorry, and then $25 on even. You can change this around too and go red and odd and then change it, right? And then take out the blacks if you wanted to, right? You can change things around. Then he puts dollars, remember, on the 12, 4, 16, and 18, and then on 30, 32, 34, and 36. So he covers 8 red numbers. Now, since there's only a single 0, I don't have to put a $5 chip on that. It's just one more number to me. I could put $2 there to make up for it, okay? And we could do that just in case it hits. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now you could play without it, and when you cover less numbers, you're going to win more when you hit these, right? Because anytime I hit these bets or these bets over here, now I'm going to lose that $2. The only way this helps me is if a 0 hits, preferably within the first 10 to 17 spins, right? Because you're going to get paid 17 to 1 for that. So I need it to hit within 17 spins for it to pay for itself. We're going to put it up and let's see how we do. All right. Let's look at our balance again. At 0, still trying to make 100. Now you notice this is 60, not 63. And we're going to spin. So we'll be able to recover a little bit faster. Without the 0, we recover even faster. So see, we won $40 right there. The other way, we wouldn't have won as much. You would have won 37, okay? So look, we're already up 40 bucks. We're going to rebet, still at base level 1, right? And play around with this. Like I've played without the zeros, and it's done all right. I think $2 helps because a $2 bet right there, you're going to win 34. You're going to get some of your money back, not all of it. All right, here we go. Remember, you're betting 58. So if you win 34, you're not going to cover another 10. That's a good even bet. I hope this happens in Vegas, right? when I'm playing this chip, I hope it does. There's $80. Rebet and spin away $60. $60 starting bet. That's not too bad. I'm definitely going to play this till it gets in trouble so you see the progression, just like the last one, right? That was only a partial loss. So we went down to $80, okay? So not bad. Remember, this is our starting bet of 60. Not quite as much as 63, but I've played it before without the zeros and it's done well too. Same thing, another partial loss. We don't increase our bets after a partial loss, okay? I would if I did 3 in a row and I lost more than my starting bet. So if I lost more than 60, right? And I'm looking at my session win, if I'm up 60 and I go all the way back down to 0, then you could up your bets, right? So depends how aggressive you want to be. I think if you're running that bad, you have 3 losses in a row, I don't think you should because I think you're just running bad, right? Try and catch the good trends. And 24, there we go, right there. Boom. Now, if you notice, look, we're already at $100, all right? So I would be walking away. I got my $100, I'd walk away. Now, I'm going to buy in at the table for $1,000. I'm going to play this system, and I'm going to set a goal. Hey, if I reach $100, I'm going to stop. Or 15, 20 spins, right, until I play the progression, and I'm going to stop. Because I'm going to try and keep my videos around 15, 20 minutes, because Sandy and I are going to show several strategies. But you see right there, already up $100. We're going to play it a little longer, see if it gets in trouble. And we know it can, right? All systems can get in trouble. But for some reason, I feel like these little systems, the first couple minutes, it's a little easy. And then after that, just it can go all bad real quick. So let's put it to the test, okay? Now look, a partial loss. Now we're down to 90. We're going to rebet. And remember, we do not go up our base level. Remember, and it's not doubling. I'm going to put that in the progressions. I'm going to show you. It should go 60, 120, 180, 240, keep going up, right? It shouldn't go 60 to 120 to 240 to 480. That goes up real fast. Now, you can win your money back faster if it hits, but your bankroll is going to be really high. Okay. So we lost 60 on that one. That was a full loss. So now we have to go up another 60 right on everything. And I'm just going to hit this button right here. So you notice we went from 60 to 120 instead of placing all the bets again, because that takes a while. If it misses again, then I'll place all the bets because I can't double it. And 14, that's another win because it's one of our bets right there. Now, if you notice, look, we won 52. The time before, we only lost 60. So we're down 8 in those 2 spins, right? Would you reset right there because you're only down 8? Now, here's the key. When you don't have the 0, right? Let me show you this. When you don't have this bet, right, that's only $2, you're really recovering the whole thing. Now, what I would do right here is I'm going to go back down to this $60 base because we pretty much recovered everything. I would reset right there, okay? So there's our $60. We have our 8 $1 bets, $2 on the 0, and then 25 and 25. Let's check out the stats again. We're up $82, right? And we're spinning. So if you want more risk, increase your bets. If you want to be conservative and let the system work for you, keep it back to base. Now, obviously, that was a good one right there, right? We're up to 120. Remember, we started this at 100. So in that particular case, if our bet would have been higher, we would have won. But be safe, right? Play smart. And then remember, all these roulette systems, you're not going to be there for hours and hours. Sandy and I are because we're recording, and trust me, we change our strategies a lot. But when you're there for hours and hours, whew, it's tough, all right? So even us, sometimes we reset. Like we'll play a 20-minute video. Okay, let's reset. Let's look at the next strategy. How are we going to play? Blah, blah, blah. That was a complete loss. So let's see where we're at now. We're at 62. Remember, we're at 122. So I'm going to rebet it. Remember, I have to add another 60 to that. So that's why it's at 120. Let's see if we can get it. A couple hits and get out of here. 34. That's another good win right there. Now remember, we won 52 right here. We just lost 60. Well, I lost $8, okay? So even though we doubled up, we recovered. So this is a system we're going to play, okay? This is a system we're going to play in Vegas, or at least I am, while Sandy's playing something else. So Chip Tracy, I saw this on the Roulette Master. So Roulette Master, he shows a lot of good stuff. Make sure you check out his channel. But one of his subscribers, like I said, Chip Tracy, sent in this one. I like it, so I'm going to use it. The single 0, I changed it around a little bit, okay? Who knows? Leave in the comments. When I play on the single 0, would you put $2 on the 0 or just leave it, right? Just bet. Should I just bet the dollar chips like this? Because it's just another number, but when I'm betting it, it takes away from my profit, right? So should I just start with the $58 bet? Because when I do hit these, I recover more. So let me know in the comments, should I place $2 on it? At least $2, right? Let me know, people. All right, Cruising and Craps out of here. Have a good one, everybody.